What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Friday. Welcome to a new episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Denise. What's up? Welcome back. If you returning to hang out with me, I appreciate you. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome. We back. We here. Okay. Um, Today's episode and topic is non-negotiables. I know when people hear that, they like, well, what does she mean by non-negotiables? You know what I'm talking about. What are the things that without second thought you just ain't tolerating, ain't dealing with, just don't want to be connected to or be around? Okay? Non-negotiables. Oh boy, oh boy. I would consider this like pet peeves, if you will, stuff that just get under your skin and irritate you. Okay. From my perspective. Okay. Non-negotiables. Boy, it's a lot. But I would start out with a person who lacks um, emotional intelligence. Okay. It's a non-negotiable. It's like, what we gonna talk about? Um, what could we possibly have in common? We not even on the same frequency. Okay. No disrespect to nobody, but hey, I gotta be around people who are critical thinkers, um, people who know how to think for themselves, not necessarily a follower or whatever you may want to label it as. Somebody that's got their own thoughts. You feel me about life, because that's really all anybody can discuss for real. Dame, welcome. Amari, hello. Bama, welcome. Welcome to y'all. Happy Friday. We talking about non-negotiables. So if this topic speaks to you or spark your interest and you got something to say, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. What are some of your non-negotiables when it comes to people, places, things, family, friendships, significant others? What's some non-negotiables? For me, I need somebody that's got ambition when it comes to like dating type of relationships. Um, Ambition, drive. They got some goals they want to see come to fruition. Somebody who is respectful, loyal. I gotta have that kind of energy, like somebody who know how to reciprocate what I'm putting out, if that make any sense. And this is not a gender thing at all. Okay, I'm just simply saying like, hey, if I'm pushing out 110% positive energy, I'm gonna need that to be reciprocated. It's a non-negotiable. The moment I start feeling like I'm doing everything or I'm carrying everything, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. And I would say that my patience with that in particular is real short. Like prior in the negative, I just can't. My body, who I am, won't let me. Okay. Um, I'm not saying that I never have or I once wasn't accepting certain things, because that would be a lie. I'm just simply saying, when you know better, you do better. When you've been through things, you experience certain experiences, you learn to adapt, adjust. Okay. Um, I'm a person that I don't like to use the word expectations, because yeah, no. And the reason that is because why are you setting expectations on other people, beings? Okay. Instead of you just allowing a person to be exactly who they are. I didn't say you got to deal. I didn't say you got to tolerate. I didn't say, but when you set expectations, and I've spoke on this before, When you set expectations for other human beings, you allow them to create a mask that they end up trying to wear when they show up. What does that mean? You telling them all this stuff that the person that is perfect for you, your soulmate, your match, whatever, gotta have this, gotta exude this, gotta be doing this and have this and going here and going. Yeah, no. Because what happens is this person may have low self-esteem, for example. They may not know how to show up for the caliber of person that you are. So now you done told them all this different stuff that the person who you consider your soulmate or your other half or your twin flame or whatever it is that you label and entitle it as, you done told this to this person. And I can guarantee you, I'm so serious, it's crazy, but if you just sit back and pay attention, I can guarantee you after sharing all the stuff you share with them, that's exactly how they're going to show up. That's exactly how they're going to show up. They're not going to show up as their authentic self. They're going to try to show up as close to the person you described as possible. You don't believe me? Try it. Do an experiment on yourself and see what happens. See if oversharing cost you a person showing up as who you described was the person made for you. Because all of us subconsciously and even consciously have some type of image created in our mind of who the best person for us look like, what kind of job they got, what kind of car they driving, what kind of vibe they supposed to have. We all do it. I'm not sure if it's just human nature or what, but we all do it. We create this fictitious image and person in our head on who is best for us. Now, I'm not saying that every time we create this illusion, because that's what I'm going to call it, because it hasn't been shown to you that that's who this person is, so it's an illusion. When you see it, who is the blame for it? Welcome, Frank, Angela, Nicole. Welcome, Brown Eyes. Welcome. Happy Friday to y'all. We talking about non-negotiables. When you set expectations or when you reveal expectations to a person that you trying to get to know, you allow them to create a mask that exudes all of those characteristics. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, and some people still don't believe it, but I'm telling you, just experiment with yourself one time and see if what I'm saying is the truth. So this is why I believe that most people should have standards, or another term, non-negotiables, things that they got set in place that no matter who they come across or connect with or encounter, it's just not up for debate. I'm not negotiating with you about it. I'm going to need you to have certain things. And these are not expectations. I think these just basic, bare minimum things that some people feel like they could skip over or avoid exuding to get the attention of certain people, to be in certain people's space, and to be in certain people's lives, whatever. I believe that this might be somewhat of a lost art because some of us have believe that expectations is the correct route when it comes to vetting. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm not just talking about family or friends. I feel like a vetting system needs to be created for all of the above. Why? Because if you leave those things off the table, meaning you leave those standards and those non-negotiables up to the other party, what you think gonna happen? who gonna end up benefiting the most? I'm gonna say it's gonna be the person who you allowed the power. Never give nobody that much power over you, your life, your energy. Never, 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 never. Because this is the fastest way for you to feel played, for you to walk away being disappointed. We all can relate because as human beings, it's impossible for us to not do certain things that cause other people to be disappointed with us. It's just human nature, trial and error. But never find yourself connected to somebody who that's what they built off of, going against people's standards, stepping and trampling on your non-negotiables, because you're gonna be disappointed. But I believe disappointment is directly connected to expectations. Stop talking about what the other party need to have. Stop. Just stop talking about it, because it don't matter. What's important is, what do you have? What do you exude? What are you bringing to the table? This is why people are still talking about what somebody bringing to the table. But it then got turned into a gender battle between women and men. Oh, you got to have this and be doing that and do. Listen, man, you got to be doing all of those things that somebody telling you need to be doing in order for you to deal with them already for yourself. You already supposed to have emotional stability. You already supposed to be working on your mental. You already supposed to be healing from your traumas. You already supposed to be doing those things for you already. You shouldn't have to wait till you ready to step out here and find your other half or significant other for you to start thinking about those things, or for you to start working on them things, or for you to start creating them. No. The person who lacks boundaries, standards, and non-negotiables be the first one to get walked over, walked on, disrespected, dismissed, not acknowledged. Guaranteed. I said something a few episodes back where I said this is why people have a welcome at their door. Now, this might go over a lot of people's head, but I'm going to say it again just so whoever didn't catch it the last time can catch it this time. People have welcome mats at their door because it's wordplay. Understand that the language that we speak, it's a spell by itself. I know that's a little bit off topic, but I'm just simply saying, like, be careful what you say to people. Because just because it translates to you one way, don't mean that's how it's gonna translate to the person you telling it to or saying it to. Be careful. You set the tone. You set the temperature. What do I mean by that? You control the thermostat. You don't let nobody come up in your crib and go straight to the thermostat and put it on whatever number they want to put it on because they at your crib. Apply that analogy to how you vet people that's in your life, or who you come across or end up connecting with. See if you don't start catching on to people and they BS real quick. Real quick. You'll be like, man, I can't believe. I would have never thought. And see, that's what we do. When we start seeing people for who they is, we be like, I can't believe. I would have never thought they'd be on that. But the only reason I feel like we say that is because we've ignored so much prior to us actually seeing it for real, or at least acknowledging it. We realize how many times we let that get past us and we ain't seen it. Or maybe we seen it and we just didn't want to see it. Because I've ignored a lot of stuff in life that people do. And it end up costing me later. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying, because in the end, when you by yourself and everybody gone and it's just silent and you just sitting there and you playing stuff back, because I don't know who else do this, but I do. I play a lot of stuff back after the fact. And I'm not sure what started it or how I end up being like that, but I play a lot of stuff back. And maybe it's for clarity for myself, or maybe to see where I missed something. Because whenever you engaging with another human being, there is always certain things that get exposed, that get shown to you. Not necessarily in a negative light, sometimes in the positive one too, but I'm just saying it's forever present. And some of us be so stuck on us that we don't pay attention to what other people's doing and saying. You know, one of the biggest disservices that you could have for yourself is to ignore, not pay attention when you dealing with another human being. They posture, they body language, they conversation, they tone, certain gestures. Some people will say stuff and they'll try to say it in a jokingly manner, hoping you don't catch what they said. I'm a very observant person, always have been. People watcher, if you will. Some people probably be like, "Yeah, that's wild," but I'm just telling you. I just sit back and watch people, and it never fails. I feel like if you watch long enough, a person expose themselves, they can't help it. They can't help it because the moment somebody gets comfortable with you, whether it's through conversation or just hanging out or whatever, the moment somebody get comfortable with you, they it's like they shoulders relax, they sit back, they you know, and they just let themselves come out. And sometimes I don't even think they realize that they exposing themselves in a certain way, but it's just a natural thing. I think when we become comfortable with anybody, you can't help it. You like, well, this is who I am. Just let a person just talk sometimes, because some of us we only listening because we want to respond. We listening to respond. We not listening so we can understand. We listening so we can respond. That's a problem. Why? Because most times people is only speaking to you about what they feeling or going through because they believe that you is a safe space for them. You jeopardize them even speaking their truth when you listening so you can respond. I didn't bring nothing to you because I wanted a response. I brought it to you because I wanted a safe space to be able to speak my truth in my mind, a non-judgmental space. And here you is, you can't even let them finish before you then already start talking about what you would do and how you would do it if it was you. And I think that's so ignorant to do to people. This is why we got a lot of people walking around here like it's pointless to speak to somebody about what I'm going through and how I'm feeling, because they only listening so they can respond, or they only listening so they got something to discuss. When that person might have really needed it just to get it out, just to get it off their chest, just to finally release themselves from it, and you wouldn't even allow the space to be created for that to happen. I don't believe in nobody holding nothing in for real. That's doing more damage than you confessing or speaking your truth gonna ever do. Because what that's gonna do is it's gonna create a fire, an explosion. The more you suppress and put in and put in and put in and never release or let out, it's gonna be an explosion, a bomb. How do I know that? Because I lived it. I lived it. I literally was walking around here just as soon as you, woo, it don't take much, a drop of something, and I'm already like 3, 2, 1. I'm already on some trash. That behavior, that characteristic was created because I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know how to deal with my feelings. This is why this is why having standards and non-negotiables are so important, because you're going to figure out what your standards and non-negotiables are when you start reflecting and spending time with self. When you get to know you for real. You can't get to know you with all the noise. You can't get to know you with all the distractions. You can't get to know you with all the extracurriculum activities. You can't. Too much going on for you to be able to do it. But this is how these things come about. You ain't gonna have no standards long as you keep avoiding yourself. You ain't gonna have no non-negotiables if you keep avoiding yourself. These things are important and set in place to to protect you, to protect your heart, to protect your aura, to protect your peace, to protect you. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. It's got everything to do with you, though. What are some of y'all non-negotiables? Just something that you just refuse to accept, tolerate, or deal with. I'm gonna say a manipulator, non-negotiable. Mm-mm. Ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna deal. I no, because when you know you, when you know the things that you're willing to do for the next person, without having to remind them that you did it. When you just a genuine soul, period, and you do things for others, and it ain't no okay. Well, I'm expecting this back. I'm expecting that back. No, that's who I am. When you like that, you got to be careful, because sometimes when you have a big heart like that, oh, people see that from miles away. They be like, "Yeah, I just hit a lick." I got me one. Okay, yeah, I just hit a lick. I got me one. And it's sad and it's unfortunate, but that's only because they never had nobody like you. And it shows. This is why they don't know how to handle you. This is why they don't know how to treat you. This is why they don't know what to do with you, because they never had nobody like you. They never had it. And it's like that because they neglected to work on self. So now when the perfect person, because we all believe we got some perfect person out here for us. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It don't exist. It ain't a perfect person on this planet. It don't exist. Just because you say you are perfect this or perfect that, don't mean that's how somebody else gonna feel about you. Not to say that you're supposed to care for real, because you really not. You really not supposed to care about what nobody else think or feel. The only thing that matter is what you think and feel for real. How do you feel about you? Are you that low in self-esteem and confidence that you just gonna let somebody dog you, mistreat you, disrespect you, not support you, don't show up for you, ain't got nothing to offer you? Cause that's what you gonna get if you don't create boundaries, standards, and non-negotiables. That's exactly what you gonna get. Somebody who gonna tell you like, well, let's just see how things go. Non-negotiable. You better run. Soon as somebody tell you that. I don't really know what I want, because that's what that translates to when they tell you let's just go with the flow or see how I go. That's a person that lacks direction, leadership, guidance. They ain't finna lead you nowhere. Yeah, they gonna walk you off the plank. Right? That's what they gonna do. They walk you off the plank. I'm going to continue to keep saying this because I don't know what is it going to take before anybody understand that you will attract who you are. If you lack accountability, that's what you're going to attract. If you lack trustworthiness, that's what you're going to attract. If you're a liar, that's what you're going to attract. If you're a thief, that's what you're going to attract. If you're emotionally unstable, that's what you're going to attract. If you're mentally disturbed, that's what you're going to attract. Stop thinking in your head that you feel like you should be attracting something different than who you are. It's not going to work anyway. That's the part that I feel like a lot of people is missing by these conversations when we be having them. What makes you believe that you deserve something more than who you are? It's just a question. Don't be upset with me. But what makes you think that you deserve to attract more than who you are? I know maybe nobody ever asked you that before, but I'm going to ask you. I wouldn't want to attract nothing from nobody that I don't exude or already possess. Why? It's a conflict of interest from the beginning. They right here, you right here. Or they right here and you right here. Whatever, it's not a balance. I don't believe nothing solid can be built when there is an imbalance. So just look at the scale. It's not balanced. So why in the world would you think that that's correct or accurate? Non-negotiables. That's what we talking about. What are some of your non-negotiables? Another one for me is I need somebody that's, I mean, I'm not religious myself, but shoot, spiritual, God fearing. Know that there is a higher authority. I'm okay with that. But a person who I feel like lacks at least that, yeah, they it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. No, it wouldn't work. Yeah, no, it wouldn't work because I need somebody that when shit get real, and I'm talking about maybe within the relationship or maybe at work or just you had a bad day, I would prefer who is for me to go sit down with themselves, try to figure out what's going on with the energy that they currently possessing, rather than find somewhere to go to be amongst a bunch of people that cannot support the level that you on in life. What do I mean by that? For instance, and I ain't telling nobody they can't kick it or hang out. That's up to you. Do what you want to do with your life. But if I'm going through some type of hardship, maybe like I said, I'm having a bad day or something, I would rather go meditate, go sit down with myself than to go hit up the corner bar or the liquor store or go hang out with my boys who struggling and don't know how to process their emotions and their feelings either. So now we just sitting here bouncing shit off of each other, and neither one of us know where to start as far as coming up with a solution or a resolution to solve it. We all already possess whatever is necessary, regardless to what we going through. What do I mean by that? You want peace? It's already in you. You want quiet? You control the narrative. It's a way for you to quiet out the noise. It sure is. You want alignment? It's already in you. Everything that we need to sustain and survive this life experience is already in us. We don't need nothing outside of us. But that's what we spend the most time doing, looking for everything outside of us. And then getting upset when we come up short. The wisdom is already in us. The truth is already in us. The knowledge is already there. It's, it's already in us. I've, I've been blessed to have certain gifts, you know, that probably scare most people who don't understand. But what I learned throughout navigating the fear that I had with the gifts that I've been given is everything in your life plays a significant role. Nothing is by chance. Nothing. Not your thoughts, not your ideas, not your creativity. Nothing is by chance. It is there for a reason. Only you could determine whether or not those things get utilized, because whatever you don't use, you gonna lose. I know nobody want to hear that, but it's the truth. Whatever you don't utilize, exercise, use, take advantage of as far as your power and your energy and your frequency, you will lose. This conversation was about non-negotiables, but in the end, it's everything that we go through in life is to reroute us back to ourselves so we can figure out how we got out of alignment in the first place. How we allowed the ways of the world and the people within it to get us off track. Because most of the time, that's what it is. You chose to take a detour. You chose to sit down and pause for a minute. You chose to take on this connection or network with this person. You chose those things. And then when it went against what the main goal was, whatever that is, some of us is building businesses from scratch, from nothing, from the bottom, out the mud. But we allowing people who don't fit with the standards and non-negotiables that we've created for ourselves in our life to somehow get us off track, get us off focus. Now we out of alignment and we trying to figure out why nothing is going the way it's supposed to be. That's why. I'm gonna just let them slide this time. The people you let slide will be the ones that do figure eights all around you. I, I don't know how nobody else feel, but I don't like for nobody play in my face. But some of us can't even get mad about the people who end up playing in our face because we let them. You bent the rules. You changed the boundaries, the standards, the non-negotiables, and so they was able to get in, disturb your peace, get you out of alignment, cause you to get off track. Now everything that came to a halt because none of those people was supposed to be along for the ride anyway. And I'm saying this not just to y'all, but to myself. Like, yay, sometimes you gotta let people off. They gotta get off the train. They gotta get off. They can't ride with you. They can't go where you going. Cause you ain't gonna be able to get what's for you as long as they there. I know this because I had a hard time detaching. Oh, I don't want them to feel like I felt when somebody abandoned me or detached from me. And I let that be my reason to have people around that I knew didn't really give a shit about me. It was what they could get from me. And I'm not talking about materialistic things, my energy, my aura, my resources, my time. And it went on for a long time before I snapped out of it and realized, like, nah, mm-mm. The ones who doing all the huffing and puffing about me creating standards and boundaries, something I never had before that, was the ones who was benefiting the most from me not having them. Don't let that go over your head. The ones that bitch and complain the most about you deciding to put you first, create things that make you be at ease and at peace within your own skin are the ones who benefited the most off of your brokenness, off of you not having standards, off of you not having boundaries, off of you not having non-negotiables. They benefited the most. That's why they making the most noise. The cat is out the bag now. I'm hip to you. You've been exposed. Access is denied. They vultures. Anyway, that's why they was around to begin with. They seen that they could feed and eat off of you without you even recognizing that they was full. They getting full off you. They eating real good. Love you first, and then worry about who claim they gonna love you after that. Cause again, before I get out of here, People is going to love you to the magnitude in which they see you love yourself. Let me repeat that for the people in the back who missed it. People are going to love you to the magnitude of how they see you love yourself. Facts. Okay? So now there is no sense in you the next time somebody try to bamboozle you, try to get over on you, play in your face for you to not recognize what's going on. First of all, evaluate how you treating yourself in the presence of this other person before you start screaming about how they choosing to treat you. Because again, they're watching how you treat you. So it's like, well, shoot, I don't really see her care too much in this area. I don't see her worrying about too much on this note. So it shouldn't make no difference, right? Don't be nobody's fool. Nobody's crash dummy. Nobody's experiment. Nobody's toy. But more importantly, you don't be no fool to you. Don't play about you. That way you ain't even got to worry about if somebody else trying to play with you. Because if you ain't playing about you, then they can't play with you. If you ain't playing about you, they can't play with you. Now, I'm sure that went over somebody's head. Stand on business about your non-negotiables and your standards and your boundaries. And you'll see that people will just eliminate themselves because they was never qualified to be around you in the first place. But because you didn't have those things set up in place for them, that's why they was there in the first place. They're like, oh shoot, she ain't got no standards, she ain't got no boundaries, she ain't got no non-negotiables. It's the perfect place for me to feast. It's the perfect place. Why would I not be present? It's a free fall buffet, and I don't eat good right here. Just because you prepared the food don't mean that everybody was supposed to get a plate. Can't feed everybody and then neglect to feed self. That is going to be a disaster every single time. You don't believe me? Just keep doing it. see where it gets you. See, don't you be frustrated, angry, and pissed off with yourself, although you're going to take it out on everybody else. But in the end, it's your fault. You let what you allow will continue. I hope somebody got something out of tonight's conversation, man. Because listen here, man. I'm only here to speak the truth, regardless to how uncomfortable and how much people cringe when they hear me talk about certain stuff. Because guess what? The world is too sensitive about the stuff that don't matter and not concerned about the stuff that do. And for me, that's so backwards that I just can't take it. It bothers me. It gets under my skin. It makes my blood boil because it's like, yeah, no. That's just, it don't make sense, nor is that the way things really work in real life. We got work to do. Could we not spend another year talking about all the extra materialistic BS that we want to obtain and have in life and start focusing on us, this, who we are as a person, getting our mind, bodies, and spirits in order? Because I think that's more important than a flat screen TV or a Birkin bag or a Maybach, or because you're not taking none of this stuff with you when you gone. Where it's going? It ain't about to fit nowhere with you. You ain't taking none of this stuff. So why do we damn near kill ourselves about it? You need to have this same energy and effort about making us better as individuals and then as a collective before we could ever focus on any other thing that's going on in life, man. We too focused on stuff that don't matter. They don't matter. So it don't even deserve more than 5 seconds of your time, because it don't matter. We don't spend enough time focusing on the stuff that do matter. Yet we spend too much time on the stuff that don't matter. And it's psychologically backwards. And you wondering why you struggle in the process. Because you're doing stuff out of order. Anyway, and all of us have been bred up in a world that's out of order. Everything out of order. The way we think, the things we believe, the way we live, the things that's important, right, versus the things that ain't, out of order. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody that tapped in, commented, chimed, shared, told somebody, followed me. Hey, we just getting started. I got so much stuff that I want to accomplish this year as far as my platform is concerned, man. Just stick with me. Buckle up your seatbelt. I never really know what we're gonna talk about. However, I do know who will be present as guests ahead of time. So look for new flyers for upcoming guests that's gonna be on for this season. It's Friday. Be careful. It's a lot of stuff that goes on the weekends, but just daily. Be careful. Take care of yourself. Look out for your family. Do something for somebody else, but more importantly, do something for you. Let's get back in alignment, people. I love y'all. I appreciate every last one of y'all, man. We gotta get right. Like I said, both mind, body, and spirit, we gotta get back into alignment, man. Y'all meet me back here Tuesday, 11 a.m. for a new mini episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. Until then, man, I'm out of here. I feel like I didn't talk to y'all enough tonight. No, I'm just playing. I appreciate and love all of y'all. I will see y'all back here Tuesday, 11 a.m. for a new mini episode, okay? Till then, I'm your host, Denise. I'm out of here, man.